What's up? So today let's talk about Instagram and a couple of tips and tricks that you can use to create more and better content for your page and audience. So let's get started with the first tip: spice up your stories. Whenever you create a new post or reel, a common mistake is to just share it in your story without creating individual stories for it. It's actually like creating a good product, but then you advertise it poorly. In most cases, most people just skip these kind of stories, and that's what you definitely want to avoid. You need to catch them. So to spice up your Instagram stories, you can do all kind of things. For example, adding a background image. That's a little bit tricky, but I will show you how you can do that. The first step is to open up your post or reel in your story, and next you need to drag it down here so you can barely see it. Next, open up an image from your image library that you want to use for your background. I've created a special background for my reels, so I will use that in this case. The next step is to find the right spot for your background image, but what you need to do is to not fill up the whole screen. Because what you need to do next is to select your reel or post again to drag it up to the front. Sometimes it needs a couple of tries, but as soon as you drag it around, you can place it in the right spot. And the last step is to select the color, let's say black in this case, to fill up the rest of your story. Just press and hold on the background to make it dark, and now you've placed the background image behind your main reel or post. I've also linked my Instagram background story Photoshop template down below, so if you want to use that, you can check that out. It's completely customizable, so it's a perfect baseline for your new stories. The next tip that we need to talk about is one of the most important things for your reels, and here we need to talk about music. Because yeah, adding music to your reels is super important, but if you can't spend some money on music subscription services like Artlist, it is really hard to find some tracks that you can use. And gladly you can use the complete Instagram music library for your videos as well. On top, another great feature here is that Instagram shows you what kind of audio files people are using for their reels and how often they are featured in reels. So in this case, you can use the same sequences for your own reels to get featured way more often as well. And the best part is that if you use these trending sounds, people will recognize your videos way faster, and that can help you to grow your page even faster as well. So yeah, use this information to find some trending sounds and then create some great posts with them. The next tip that I want to talk about is for all the photographers out there. Yes, I absolutely love to share my photos on Instagram as well, and yes, Instagram really likes videos in these days. And that can be a huge problem for a lot of people. But actually in this case, use that knowledge to create some good content that fits your own niche and that gets a full support from Instagram too. If you want to post your photos, that's fine, but in this case I highly recommend to simply create a photo reel. For example, you can create some photo compilations or maybe just use a single photo and post that as a reel. Or another step forward would be show how you got the shot or how you edit your photos. There are actually so many ways out there to create some good reels, including some cool photos for your feed, so definitely use them. In the end, you just have to find the best practices for your own workflow. I really like to post a variety of things, so sometimes a reel, sometimes just a photo, and so on. Actually, don't be afraid to try new things, especially if you want to grow your page on Instagram. Photos aren't dead on Instagram, there's just a new way to present them on this platform. And that leads us to the next tip, and I know this is one of the hardest things to do because it needs time, energy and self-discipline to do that. But it's simply the best way to get traction on your page. And here I'm talking about post daily on Instagram. I personally post daily on Instagram for over a year now, and that decision changed everything for me. Of course, it is sometimes hard to create and post content every single day, but it's the best way to gain a lot of experience too. In the end, you actually learn how to produce content, how to plan your content, and how you actually get things done, because you have to deliver a final photo or video at the end of the day. Especially if you're a beginner photographer or videographer, this will help you to improve your own skills so much faster, because you can always improve something every single day. You don't have to make a huge step forward, it's all about the small steps, because taking photos or recording videos is a never-ending story. There's always something that you can improve. And the last tip for today is all about hashtags. Some people say hashtags aren't that relevant anymore, but I don't think so. Especially if you just start to build your own page, hashtags are really important. What I can highly recommend to do is to take some time and to do some research. So find relevant hashtags for your niche that you can use for your own postings. And actually try to find a lot of them. So not just 20 or so, maybe 50 to 100. And whenever you post something on your page, you use 5 to 10 of them that are relevant for your post, of course. In this case, you simply build a hashtag library for your own content that you can easily use to select the best hashtags for your own niche without spending a lot of time searching for them every single day. And of course, always try to update your list with new hashtags from time to time to use some fresh ones. And don't use the same hashtags for multiple posts in a row. Actually switch them up all the time, and the rest is fully up to you. But using hashtags is really important because they can actually be a kickstarter for your own content. Sometimes it actually takes some time until something gets recommended, so don't expect any huge changes after some hours. But yeah, these are a couple of Instagram tips and tricks for 2023. Are you interested in these kind of videos? Write it down in the comments. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next video.